Hey, hello everybody. My name is Josue Santiago, and I just want to take a second to welcome you to this video. And before we start, I just want to let you know that one of our phrases for this year is "the best is yet to come." And this is where we're hoping and declaring that this video will add value to your life, and the best will be yet to come to your life, to your family, and for your ministry. So enjoy this video, and I'll see you after we finish. Are you guys excited? Come on, make some noise. Man, don't worry. You're not going to see a manifestation of what I have right here today, but I'm going to use this for my message. And we had a scheduled a guest speaker for today. And I just want to say I'm sorry for the men that were excited for the conference that we were going to have yesterday. I can assure you that our church, our leadership did everything they could to make it happen, but it was not on our hands to make it happen or not. So while we will have that men get together, I have to prepare a message for today, and I was excited. So I'm gonna have a couple of minutes, but before I start here, I'm gonna ask you, for those who are new, and I speak Spanglish, and I'm using I'm not using it right now, but I have Invisaligns that it affects the way you speak. So I took it off to make sure that I do the best I can. But the best way you can help your pastor preach is I love to hear response from you. That makes sense? So I can promise you that the word today will hurt you. It will dig in the most deepest areas in your soul, and it will hurt as much as I can. I'm going to try to destroy you this morning. I'm going to try to break through your soul, because there are so many things in unfinished business that we have in our lives that we cannot move to the next level without taking care of unfinished business. And we have an ability in America that I've learned, because we don't have carpet in Cuba, that's why I say America, that the rug, you can put stuff under the rug, and you can make, when somebody's coming to your house and you don't have time to clean it, what do? You sweep it under a rod, and it stays there. No one will ever see, but you know that there is caca under the rug. And for my Mexican friends watching, I discovered that caca is not a good word for them. So for Cubans are normal. Caca is a beautiful word. So, and everybody here knows what I'm talking about. So forgive me if you're Mexican. We love you. You're going to get converted for sure. So I want to start with this. There is a difference to, I am Josue Santiago. And I know probably my last name is, my first name is hard for Americans to say, and they call me Josue. If you call me Josue, you're not able to come to the church again. So you better call Josue. If you want to be fired, call me Josue, and that's it. I almost throw my phone because you call me Josue. You want me to call your mom? Well, you're not calling anybody. Just learn how to say my name. But there is a difference to who I am and what I can do. Let me go back and say it again. There is a difference between what I can do for you and who I am. So what I can do comes from the sources and resources that I have. If you ask me to give you a car, I don't have that resource right now, so I cannot give it to you. If you ask me to give you a piano lessons, I have the resource to give to you. So my resources are limited to my capacity. So based on my capacity, I can give. So my ability to give doesn't have to be, it is not aligned to who I am. So who I am, it is totally different to what I can do. Does that make sense? So I can work out with my amazing coach over there, and he can kill me like every day, like every time we work out. And I can work out with him, and that's something that I can do. But that doesn't mean that I am a coach. I mean, it goes back to the difference between who I am and what I do. And our problem is that sometimes we look at God as a Dollar Tree, as a general dollar, that you can get in, and for $1 you can get everything you got. With one prayer you can get every answer you want. With one fasting you can get everything you want. And you're just looking for a place that I want a source of giving to me. So I come to Christ because somebody promised that He can heal me, restore me, bless me, restore my marriage, my life, my finances. Somebody promised, and that's what I tell the 50% off gospel. That is the part of you come and He will give everything to you. And you miss the part of being sons and daughters of God and having responsibility in the kingdom of God. That makes sense? Okay. What God can do, it is completely separate to who He is. That makes sense? And in the Old Testament, they did the best they could. Right now for us, it's fine. We can say Jesus. And in the word Jesus, we can incorporate who He is, even in our thin line, probably 0.0001% of what we have knowledge, over the knowledge that we have of Him, we can name Him Jesus. But in the Old Testament, they didn't have any name for God. So they were naming God according to what He was doing. So if God comes and provides me and gives me the money that I don't have, He's Jehovah, the one who provides. If I was sick and He came and healed me, His name will be Jehovah, the one who heals. So our names of God were designed to describe not who He is, but what He can do. Okay, the mentality of the Old Testament is I don't truly understand who you are, because every time that I hear about you, I see a thunderstorms, I see a mountain being burned out, I see a guy coming down from the mountain, I see a rushing wind coming, I see a Red Sea open, and I'm afraid to really get to know what is behind Jehovah Jireh, what is behind Jehovah the provider, what is behind this provision that I receive when I pray. That makes sense? Can I keep going? I'm just going to give an introduction here. There is a difference between that and who He is and what He can do. He is the healer. He is the signs and wonder, the miracle maker, God. He is the revivalist. He is the fire power. He is the everything that you can name God based on His provision to you. You can name Him so many things. But are we going back to saying, even if you don't bless me, even if you don't do anything from now until I die, even if you don't restore my soul, even if you don't restore my marriage, even if you don't do this, even if you don't even do one more miracle, my heart is pure enough to not focus in Jehovah Jireh, but Jehovah. I'm telling you this because there are so many people mad of one unanswered prayer. That makes sense? I prayed 3 times, He answered me. The 4th time didn't answer, and I got mad with God. And because you didn't answer, and that will reveal your heart that it didn't went back to knowing who He was, but what He could do for you. Okay, that makes sense? Okay, so God doesn't have love. God is love. God doesn't have holiness. God is holy. God doesn't have goodness. He is goodness. So what we can do and what we receive from Him, it is an expression of His character. It is an expression of who He is. Does that make sense? Okay. I love that. I love because we're going to get into very amazing, deep things right here. Psalms 23. We take Psalm 23 as, and we all know that, I know in Spanish, Jehová es mi pastor, y nada me faltará, en lugares de dedicados pastos me hará descansar, junto a aguas de reposo me pastoreará, confortará mi alma, me guiará por senda de justicia por amor a su nombre. Y aunque ande en valle de sombra de muerte, no temeré mal alguno, porque tú estarás conmigo, tu vara y tu callado me infundirán aliento, aderezas mesa delante de mí en presencia. You want me to keep going? Unge mi cabeza con aceite, mi copa está rebosando. Ciertamente el bien y la misericordia de Dios me seguirán todos los días de mi vida, y en la casa de Jehová moraré por largos días. I love that song. It's in Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish and you got it, that is interpretation in tongues. Let me tell you, you just got it right here. But Psalms 23, it's amazing because David doesn't speak about a promise, but he speaks about a testimony. He didn't say that Jehovah is his shepherd, because he didn't say, you will be my shepherd, or you will restore my soul. He was not speaking from a promise that he can tap in the future or when he's going through something. He was declaring that who he was, not what he could do to him. And I love because in Psalms 23, there are 12 names of God. And I love 12 names of God in one psalm. And let me just go through very quickly here. It says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not fear. He makes me lay down in green pastures. He leads me beside still water. He restores my soul. He leads me to path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even if I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will feel no evil. For you will be with me. Your rod and your staff comfort me. I love this part. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup is running over, overflowing. Surely the goodness and the mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. I love that. Do you like that song? The Lord is my shepherd, Jehovah Ra. And I'm going to pronounce these names like I learned when I went to the seminary in Cuba. And they told me the Hebrew names in the way that Hispanics pronounce it. So if you know the different name, I'm not making it up. It is right here. I don't. So the Lord is my shepherd. I will lack nothing. That is Jehovah Ra. The Lord is my shepherd. Jehovah Jireh. He is my provider. I lack nothing. And different version says that I will feel no evil. But in the one that is true, the one that's true is, what's the true version of the Bible? And I just say, there's a lot of problems out there. No. For me, the good version is the one that I can understand. For me, and sometimes I have to go through couple of versions so I can get the weird English language. He makes me rest. He's Jehovah Shalom. Wow. The Lord is my peace. In Psalm 46:10, he says, I be still and know that I'm God. Get is shalom, and I know that I'm God. Jehovah, he said, he restores my soul. Jehovah Rapha. He says, Jehovah is my healer, my restoration. Jehovah, this is the way I pronounce it. Texarkana is Jehovah, my righteousness. Yeah, even if I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Jehovah Shammah, the Lord is present. I love that one. You like that one? Even when you're going through a nightmare, a turmoil, a storm, you can say, Jehovah Shammah. That means Jehovah is present. Can you imagine these people? I mean, you're so late. Imagine these people going through that Red Sea and seeing the army of the Egyptians coming against them, and suddenly they saw the waters coming and everything, and so they were naming God not before the manifestation, but after the manifestation. So they saw the waters coming down, killing every Egyptian, and they said, Jehovah is present. Wow. I don't know. I have a big imagination. Jehovah Ezer, he said, I don't know. Jehovah is my helper. Jehovah Nisi, I love that. Jehovah is God is my victory. I love. But I love what David was saying here, because if you go deep into Psalm 23, it was an experience that David had. But I'm concerned about Christianity and concerned about this microwave generation. You don't imagine. I mean, go back and think. When they don't serve you the way you want to, what do? You complain. When they don't give you what you want, what do? You complain. When did you get the stuff that you want? Because this society have taught you that you have the rights to complain. And we bring that to the spiritual life, and we feel that when he doesn't do it, we have the right to complain. And you go back to David saying this Psalm 23, and he's saying, I'm going to teach you something. And this is what I got from Psalm 23. Life not always is about balance. Life sometimes is about rhythm. Life sometimes is not about balance or this or that. Life sometimes is about rhythm. You won't have the same rhythm in your life. If you're a musician, you know that we have an intro when we want to start a song. We have the part of the verses that everybody should be down and you should be, because this is part of nice part that people will get it. But we are always looking at the chorus, because that chorus will be something that people will get, and it will be something easy. And after the chorus, we need a bridge so we can break the dynamic of the whole song, and we give people a break to recover, and we go back to the chorus, bring people up, and we ended with the end. So that's how you build a song. If you have a song that is all chorus and everybody's singing the same thing over and over for 5 minutes, life will be so mellow that you won't have not even a time. That's why you're right here. You see, I am a good season right now, but suddenly I get into a season of I have no money. And how do I transition from this to here? I will have balance in my life, but balance doesn't work when you transition in seasons, because it's about finding the rhythm for the season that I'm at. That makes sense? If you have a rhythm of going 65 miles per hour, and suddenly you see a sign that says 35 miles per hour, what do you need to do? If you keep going the same speed, someone will stop you, will give you a ticket. Life is about looking at the signs. And sometimes we want to be so rebellious that we say, let me keep the same speed. And that's why you see broken families, because we don't know when to say, let me stop and see the rhythm of heaven, and how sometimes I need Jehovah Jireh, that He's my provider, but I cannot keep the same thing that I'm doing right here, because the season has changed. I'm getting like waves, and I'm like those people waiting for the next wave. If you just get stuck in that wave that you're riding right now, you will miss a lot of new waves that comes to you, because you are not willing to change. You're not willing to reinvent yourself. And you're not willing to say, okay, I may be down, but this may be a different rhythm of heaven. I may be up, this may be I don't know about you, but I feel my struggle in life is that I have one speed. And normally that speed is beyond the speed limit. And I have to confess, I don't drive very fast. I'm not saying in the physical, I'm saying in the spirit. For me, things should be done yesterday. I get my best ideas 5 minutes before I preach. When we're working out, those that give me 2 more, it's like, because it is my personality that I don't know how to slow down. And I don't know how to change saying, like, I had a testimony yesterday. I was in my house. I have been having not a horrible, but a busy 3 weeks with preaching here, worship team, and everything that has to be transitioned, and everything that I have in my brain, but plus Cuba, and the whole thing that I'm dealing in my brain. It's been hard for me to rest. And yesterday, we work out in the morning. I had practice at 10 a.m. I went back home. I had to take the afternoon to prepare because I have 2 more appointments. So Saturday was a very crazy day, and I was working in my message for today. And suddenly, I think it was Daphne or Abby or Bella, whoever, one of my 3 girls came and said, "Daddy, can we go out?" You know, Daddy had like 5th spit. All the pedal in the gas, and I was just preaching to myself and this is the best part of the message that I haven't touched it yet. You're going to be excited about that one. This is the best part, and I cannot break the flow of the Spirit that is happening right here. My fear is if I change from this to this, I will break it. And Abby, I don't know who came, but that said was Abby. Abby came, "Papi, can we go outside?" And Daddy made all the excuses I could make. It's cold. The weather is going to rain, tornado want to come, even hurricanes. There is tsunami. You know what is a tsunami? Tsunami is water, mucha agua coming. And I was like, Mom, you're going to go out with me. So I have to, close my everything and shift gears. And say, my speech should change here. Puck. This is a family time. You know why it is, what can destroy a family is a father that doesn't know how to shift. And a mom that doesn't know how to shift. And a family that doesn't know that, you know what happened when you are in a 30 miles per hour and you're still in fifth of sixth gear, your car will not perform the way you want and you can burn the engine. Because every speed is designed for a season in your life. And I'm going to talk to you about these seasons that I feel that I'm missing. And this season that I feel that I'm want to get there and shift when I have to shift and find the rhythm of heaven. And this is what I love about Jesus. Jesus only had 3 years on earth. And suddenly, if I was Jesus, I would say, I healed the sick here. Let me keep moving forward. Where's the demon-possessed guy? Over there? I'll see you later. Let me finish with him. I can come back to the mountain. And Jesus had the ability to preach to 5,000 people and said to his disciple, go, I'm going to go to the mountain. And he was going back to the mountain, spending time with God, coming down and flowing with heaven. And I don't have that. This is the season that I think we need to work out. 4 seasons. First is the season of resting. How many of you like that? Resting, training, fighting, and the season of reward. I love Ecclesiastic chapter 3 says, Ecclesiastic. I don't want my teacher to put that, you just said that wrong. There is a rhythm of a time, or there's a time for everything. Time to die, time to be born, time to walk, time to fight. You know what I really like this? Because the resting is a supernatural ability to let go. And one of the the hardest things for us is stop doing. Because we find our value based on what we do, not in who we are. What I do make me valuable. I was just talking and said, what if I don't get to preach anymore? Am I going to still feel in value? What if I don't get to play the bass anymore? What if I don't get to play the guitar anymore? Can you ask your question, what is that thing right now that makes you valuable and makes you special? And think your life without that thing that you feel will make you special. What do you have left? What do you have left? So resting, it is the ability to say, I love Moses' mom. And I feel that testimony is for some people right here this morning. Moses' mom, she was praying for a son. God gave her Moses, and suddenly the Pharaoh wants to kill everybody, and she had to let go. And the Bible says that she put her baby in the river and asked her daughter to watch her miracle from the distance. Sometimes, and your miracle will come to pass when you're strong enough to let go. Sometimes your husband will come to Christ when you're strong enough to let go. Sometimes the situations that has been struggling in your life will change when you let go. When you say, I did everything I could, there is nothing else we can do. You know what happened? When you step into someone's storm, you become an instrument from Satan. One of the things that we do here is, I love Jacob and Joseph. He said, Bible said he had kids, and this is Josue's story, and he had all the kids and everything, and I said, let me have Joseph. And it's not weird that the guy, Jacob, said, okay, I'm going to give you a mantle, and with colors and everything. I'm going to favor you from your brothers, and you will be. I have a speculation that I want to share with you this morning, that I feel this is what happened. God doesn't have the ability to bless anything that you put on top of him. He is his almighty power. He cannot bless anything that you put above him. He has the ability to bless everything down, but he doesn't have the ability to bless anything you put above him. And there are moms that put their kids, and the kids, instead of being a blessing, becomes an idol. And you wonder why God is not touching my kids. And God is saying, I cannot bless anything you put above me. I have the capacity to bless it. If you let go, if you can rest through the storm, you're putting your trust in me. You're letting go. I know you just lost your job. I know you just lost a situation. I know there's a situation that is killing you right now. I'm telling you, everything that you cannot rest will be tested. When we were having the twins, and it was that time that it was a Bethel conference, and I wanted to go, and Leanne said, you go. But in my brain, I'm a bad dad, I'm a bad husband, because my wife was about to give birth to our twins, and I'm in the conference, and I couldn't see anything, couldn't receive anything. I remember the first time, as they were singing, I had a vision that I saw 2 tables. And I saw in my hands that I have something of fruit in my table, in my hands. And he said, there's the table of testing, and that's the table of blessing. He said, you have to decide whatever you are concerned, whatever stress you, whatever you put on above me will be tested. Whatever you can rest will be blessed. You know what it means? Like, you are at the edge of losing your house. You are at the edge of losing your marriage. You are at the edge of losing whatever you have in your life right now. And you do the same thing. I will remember, yes and amen. There's a part you need to do. But there is a part in your life that God says to you, I'm going to challenge you with the highest level of faith. And the highest level of faith is not doing, it's resting. Trust me. Let go and see what I can do. Let me share testimony. Can you give me the 2 baskets, the 2 offering baskets, please? Don't worry, I'm not going to take it in the second offering. I'm going to finish this part with this. One of the things that have been going through my mind. Can I be honest? Can I open my heart with you? Can I be open? Cubano, abierto, completo? Okay. Can I reveal everything? I have doubts in my mind. I have lack of faith in many areas in my life. And this is an area that I have to confess. Because if I don't confess, it's not going to happen. This is my greatest fear right now. My greatest fear is that this is family of faith. And I love family of faith. I love everybody here. I love financially we're being blessed. We're not in the red. I believe we're overflowing. God has been blessing us abundantly. But there is someone screaming from me on the other side, saying, come and plant a church. Come on up in the church in Jacksonville, Florida. Come up in a church in Columbus. But as I do this, I said, there is no way that I can make that happen. And in 2016, God gave me a project, a whole church planning, 2 years church planning that I had in my office. In 2016, God said, I felt that God said, you're going to open it in June. I put June 2016. Didn't happen. I said June 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21. And I saw that. And it is that thing, that battle in your life that you haven't been able to overtake. And it's there as a reminder of defeated. And it is that rooster of condemnation that comes to you and I go back and I said, how are you going to do it? And I've been truly, hey, let me find ways to do it. My personality, and so my personality, I'm like, let me make it happen. Bring here. And I'm like, let's make it happen. And he's telling me to rest. But I can't. Because I need to do. And I'm preaching. I want you guys to wake up and do with me. And my desires like, hey, everybody come out here. Let's work together. Let's make this happen. Why don't we go and play in different churches? People waiting for us in Columbus, in Zanesville, in Jacksonville, Florida. And last night somebody prophesied of 40 new churches we're going to be opening from Family of Faith. And this is happening. And God is telling me and giving me the greatest challenge of trust. If I missed resting, I won't have the strength to fight. You know what happened here? After resting, there's a time of training, and this is going to hurt. One of the greatest mistakes we make in life, you know what is? When you're about to fight, you have to choose your tools. And not only your tools, you have to be wise with which people, or how many people you bring with you to this battle. Papa Leif has been teaching me that there are VIP people, very influential people, very important people. There are VDP people, very draining people. VNP people, very nice people. And VTP people, very toxic people. You know what is the point here is, I need to know that if I'm stepping into a fight, that I have to fight against a giant that is coming my way. I have to choose that I'm only going to bring next to me eagles. That they are willing to put my hands up and make me fly when I'm going through. One of the things why we lose our battles is because we hang out with so many toxic chickens. And there is a season that you have to invest in the chickens. But I cannot invest in the chicken when I'm about to fight a giant. When I'm about to fight a giant of nothing in my life, when I'm about to fight a giant of starting a new business, and I was surrounding myself with people, and I said, it's not going to happen. Get out of my way. Very toxic people. And this is going to sound bad, especially coming from me. We have people in our life that they give, and people in our life that they drain. You have that impression that when somebody calls to you and you see the name of the number and that phone number, suddenly there is a draining going on. Because I know problem is calling you. Situation is calling you. And you see that phone, that text, that phone, that mail, that whatever, and it's draining and it's draining. Let me tell you this, you won't be able to fight and defeat that giant if you don't surround yourself. I'm getting everybody that said it's not possible, I'm getting them far away from me. I want to build me up, help me move forward, help me get where I'm going, help me. I need people, not very toxic people, but very influential people around me that they can see what I see, that they are where they want to be. One of the book of General Boykin, he says that we need a battle body, I think. And I was reading his book, and especially that part. And you know why the enemy how can he take us down? Because the loneliness will be the greatest tool of the enemy. If he can separate you from the pack, from the tribe. And you know what happens when we have a situation, we tend to separate ourselves from people. Instead of going out and saying, can you give me a break? Can you help me? And especially in our culture, it's kind of a sign of weakness when you need something. And we need someone. And you know what happened? We become specialists and we become professional in performing. And that's why you say, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. And you know that person's broken. I have to declare in faith that I'm fine. No, faith doesn't work when you're broken inside. That's why the Bible says confess. Because confession is not always declaring what you know. Sometimes we need to go ahead and say, if I want to fight this battle, I need to find someone that I can unveil my skeleton. I can say, this is what I have in my closet. This is what I have under my rug. And you know what happens to us sometimes? That we feel we are on top of the world, but we are getting ourselves packed up with so much caca that there will be a point in a time in a season that you're going to explode and you're going to be like Samson that couldn't reach out to someone. This is what's going on with Delilah. She's wanted to do this. He never reached out to anybody. That's why he ended up being killed. David never reached out to anybody when he was walking in that room and he saw that lady over there. He wouldn't reach out to someone. I think I'm going to finish. You guys don't like this. Fighting, and this is the time I like. The one I like a lot. There's a mystery that happened with fighting. You know what happened with fighting? When you're fighting with the same thing over and over and over and over, you get tired. And that feeling of getting tired will be the perfect weapon for the enemy to come and destroy you. Come and take you down. He will get you out. And you have two fights. You have the fights with the enemy, and you have the fight with yourself of performing that you're fine. You know what happened here? Let me go ahead and because I don't feel you guys are following me. Let me go ahead. I don't think you guys are following me. This is what happened. I rest to get trained to fight. And when I'm fighting, there is a time of reward. If I miss one of this, I will be jumping straight from fighting to resting. And you know what happened? You never celebrate your big victories because rewards will build a history with God. Then when you are in the midst of the fight and you're losing, you go back and say, if he did it before, he can do it again. So if you miss the time of training and you go from resting to fighting, you won't have the tools and the people that you need to fight this battle. So this is not something that you can jump. But what happened, and what I'm seeing a lot in my life and in so many people's life, is this. After you end up fighting, there is something that we have to look at. There are wounds in our bodies, in our soul. You just lost someone. You are at the edge of losing everything, and you maybe won the battle, but you lost so many people wanting that. You made me feel like I'm on top of the world, but you know that every time you want to go to a different level, there is a card that the enemy will always use against you, the loneliness, the sexual abuse when you were a kid. That you say, I want to go be on top of the world, and suddenly when I'm about to do that, sexual abuse come and will torture you. You know what happened? When we get out of the world, there will be two things that we will have to carry with us the whole life. The scars of the battle. But you know what happens? Scars will be formed by healing the wounds. But some of us will never take time to heal the wound, so we will never get a scar. And you know what happened to us? We go from not healing the wounds to resting, to fighting, to getting training and go and fight. And you know what happened? That wound still open because you never took care about loneliness. And you still declaring, I'm fine, but you know deep inside of you, when your father left you, that marked your life, and you haven't been able to walk in your destiny because there's still an open wound bleeding. I'm on top of the world. I'm a giant. I have a great personality. Deep inside of you, you're bleeding. Pastor, don't tell me that. I'm fine. You know what? Because you may be able to hide it. But you know what happened? You know why I see you don't have a scar and you have a wound? Because those who have a scar will show it. Because the scar is a sign of battle. When you have a baby and you have a big scar, some of the women say, I want to hide. Don't hide it. That is the mark of victory. When you say, what happened? This is what. No, don't do it here. Please don't. Cancel demonic thoughts right now. If you do it online, watching from your TV, you can do it. You have the ability to do it. You guys don't have the ability to do it. But it goes back to this. How wounded you are right now. You know what was my concern? That I've been on 70 miles per hour. I want to drag everybody with me. And I'm the kind of leader that say, woo! And if you're behind, I will run. And I truly don't care sometimes if you are walking slow, like I did with Bella yesterday. Abby and Daphne were too fast, and I dropped them and I said, get out! And God convicted me after the last two preachings. And God convicted me. He asked me a question. He said, would you want to get to the promised land with one or with all? Guess what I said? I said it with a lot of pain. Because truly, I want to get to the promised land. I want to see happening. I want to see the movement of God. I want to see this place packed. I want to see revival. I want to see life being transformed. But what do I do if I gain the world, but I lose my family? What do I do if I gain 1,000 souls for Christ, but I left you behind? Because as a leader, I need to find what is your rhythm. And I may see you walking slow, and because of my personality, I will speed you up. Get out of that place and run. But he's been giving me this heart. Okay, what are the areas? What are you behind? 99 is one that left. Sometimes we want to say, cover it and fake it until you make it. But if you want to go real here, we have to bring down the shields and see why your marriage is not working. And see why your parenting is not working. Let me tell you, if you keep doing the same thing over and over and over, that one will get bigger. It will never come. It will never be a scar of victory in your life. You will bleed. And your kids will get that blood, and that blood will infect them, and they will reproduce that in their marriage. Because we are not honest enough to tell Moses, yeah. I know the feelings team, the Egyptians are coming, but I'm bleeding. I need to take care of this wound before I keep moving forward. And we get the pack. Everybody's moving, but I'm like, oh. Pastor, I want to take over this ministry, but I just got divorced. But I'm on top of the world. I can go, I can do it. No, Papi, you're bleeding. Mommy, you're bleeding. Someone here is bleeding. There is a pain inside of you, and instead, if you keep kicking out the process of healing, you will lose every single battle that you were meant to fight and win. And win. You, every giant in your life will come and will take you. Every single, you can pray, you can intercede, you can declare with faith whatever you want. But until you sit down and you have to be honest with yourself, you have to be honest with God, and you have to be honest with whatever you need to, whoever you need to do, and say, I need time to heal because I am wounded. And this wound, it's getting worse. And until I can open up my heart and tell you why, where, and how, and when, and how, and where I have the pain, it will never happen. Pastor, this message is not for me. I'm on top of the world. I can do. Where's Natalia and Reese left me? Oh, there you guys are there. I'm going to finish with this. Come here. This is what happened to us. We are afraid of this. We want to present ourselves as very, very strong person. It's breaking all over the place. I should have something better than. Now, Natalie, come on, behave. Natalie, what are you doing? This is a very low quality toilet paper. Very cheap. The good point, this is, Natalie, come on. You're going to break the atmosphere here. I'm just kidding, Natalia. This is what happened. Every time we have a victory, this is how you look in the spirit. And if God is okay with this, where are you? Why are you so afraid to say, I'm hurt? Why are you so afraid to say, I need to heal? And you feel tight. Maybe you feel like, I have nowhere to go. And sometimes you say, I don't care. I don't want to take a time. I feel like, sometimes you feel like, can you play some music back there? Instrumental. I'm going to finish with this. And you may look like a mumia. And you feel tight. But you know, deep inside of you, there is a healing process that is happening. Anthony, it's a healing process that's happening. What happened with the pain? If you let the pain take you, the pain will destroy you. But if you take time to heal, I'm telling you, you may look like this today. Thank you, girls. You may look like this today. You may be watching online right now and you say, Pastor, I'm broken. I thought it was going to work. I thought I was on top of the world. I thought I will never get to this point. But my greatest mistake is I want to hide it. I don't want to be honest. One of the things that I love about the Bible is, especially when David, he was in that cave, the Bible says that God sent him an army of unqualified people, broken people that were in debt. And David had the ability to wait and say, we all gonna make it, or no one's gonna make it. I'm just reaffirming right here, right now, that if you're broken, you don't have to keep walking. We're gonna wait for you. We're gonna make it happen together as a family. And when you're ready to break through, we'll break through with you. But don't hide your pain. Sometimes pain is a sign of healing. But when you don't treat the pain, it will be a sign of infection. Can you stand out for a second? Everybody watching online, please stand out for a second. And I'm not saying that everybody is in the same place. You may not have any pain in your heart, and you may see, I'm on top of the world. Let me keep moving forward. I have to confess that I always have a hard time looking at open wounds that I have, because I feel time will heal it, or the supernatural power of God will heal it. And God has been working with me. If you have something against someone, don't let the time heal it. Go, reach out, fix it. And I'm going to finish with this. I preached years ago about fixing and restoring. And when you have to fix it, you have the ability to get it fixed. But when you have to restore, you have to spend time and money. When you're driving, the engine light comes on, that's a sign of fixing. If you keep running your car with that engine light on, you will get to the point that you're going to blow that engine, and you will have to stop your car and restore it. You know what is our? We don't look at the engine light. Oh, that's a fake sensor. I'm telling you right now, this is just an expression of freedom. David said, Jehovah is my shepherd. I shall not fear. But also in Psalms 13, he said, the enemies are coming against me. They want to kill me. They want to destroy me. But Jehovah is my provider. And he will take an evil sign weird for people. People will say, are you breaking? No, I'm just healing. Are you don't look different? No, because I'm healing. And you may not see me on top of the world right now, but that's not because I'm down, because I'm taking time to heal. And I may not I may not be able to see you, my nice shirt, but you don't need to see it right now. I'm healing. And slowly I'm breaking through. And it's painful. But everything that you break through, every single thing, God will wait for you until you're new. And this pain will transition into a nice scar. And this scar will be a sign of, I was broken. And look at me. I want to do an article. First I want to ask, in anybody here, this place, feel like I'm at 70 miles per hour, and I have a problem recognizing my tempo, my rhythm in life. I'm broken. I'm not going to ask you to come up here, but right there where you are, close your eyes. People watching online, can you turn off the lights, please? God will never allow you to kill a giant if you got wounded from the last lion you killed. Being smart is not fighting every time. Jesus came and fought with the Pharisees, and the other chapter he walked away. He didn't fight. Because it comes back to knowing your time and your rhythm. What is he wanted to teach you in this season of lack? When you have nothing, you're about to lose everything. Father, I pray for the army, that we will be strong enough to recognize that sometimes we can run, but sometimes we have to slow down. That we'll be strong enough and smart enough to recognize that before I take one step up, I need to heal first. Father, I pray for those who were sexually abused. Those who are watching online, those who are right here that were sexually abused, and especially from your dad and from family member. That every time you are about to start a new relationship, you think about that moment. and you see your dad and whoever did it to you in the face of your husband. You're about to start a new relationship, and you see your divorce. The enemy put you a name for your mess. Sometimes those scars doesn't mean victory, but being defeated. But I love when you said that the God will take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it around for our good. But we will be only if we allow God to heal our brokenness. Give me a zoom my face if I can do it for a couple of seconds. I speak to you right now that you're watching. I don't know if you're going to be watching this week or right now. You're broken. You don't know what to do. You're in a place of desperation. You have no energy to fake it until you make it anymore. You have no energy to keep walking this fake relationship. And I'm telling you right now, you don't have to. Because I know a Jesus that He stopped and healed the sick and restored the broken. Receive healing right now. The first thing we need to do to receive healing is recognize it. Know that the pain is there. Let the wound open up. Find someone that can speak to you. Someone that you can speak and let it out. It won't happen if you just pray it out loud. Find someone that can help you. Find that battle body that can come alongside with you, can get trained and can help you. And Father, I pray for everybody that's here right now. And I want to, as I close, make sure that you don't go without taking the time and coming here to the altar. I don't want prayer team, anybody praying for anybody. I want you to have a time with God that you can unveil your heart and say, this is what I'm going through. This is the pain I have. This is what I've been hiding for years. I cannot enter into the promised land with this wound because it will kill me. Father, I bless everybody, and this Sunday may look different than the last 2 Sundays, and I like it because I have no control of it. I declare that it's going to be all coming and walking through those promises. I'm going to see the fulfillments of your promises. But like David said, learn the rhythm of life and find a way to heal when you need to heal. And don't wait for that wound to get infected and to kill you. But take time to heal your soul. He restores my soul and make my cup overflow, runs over. Father, thank you because you make us rest in green pastures. There's a rhythm for everything in life. And I bless family of faith right now. I bless those soldiers that are ready to go, but I also bless those who are wounded. And I declare that the healing process of God is coming upon you, that whatever happened into your life, you're going to start calling people that hurt you, that you hurt them, and you're going to make things right. I declare that if that dad abandoned you and you never had that opportunity again, and that's why you cannot see God as your dad, you're going to call your dad and make things right. If you got divorced and you're still hating your wife and that wound's still there, that's why you cannot stop a new relationship. I challenge you to heal that wound. In Jesus' name, I pray for family of faith and everybody that will be watching this coming week. And in Jesus' name, we declare the best is yet to come. If Daddy did it before, He would do it again. And shalom. Hey, thank you again for watching our videos. Somehow connect with us. We would love to bless you, to hear your story, and to hear the testimonies from this video. I'm going to close with these 3 phrases. The best is yet to come. If God did it before, He would do it again. And shalom. God bless you.